Imagine this situation. You are surrounded by unbreakable wall of two teeth-armed army that are firing 200,000 grenades at you. You can't escape. You can't fight. Would you surrender? Would you cry? You are watching Fortune channel and this is the story about Attack of Dead Man. Osovec. That was the name of a fortress on River Bobra. Today that place is part of Poland, but in the time of the story that was west part of Russian Empire. Fortress was there because there was a really nice path that was actually a shortcut for entering Great Russia. Germans wanted to use that in the beginning of the Great War, but they ran into pretty determined resistance, so they waited for winter to pass so their army could go more forcefully in 1950. Germans wanted that area not because the property, but because that shortcut was the only one which they could use to shake up a whole Russian front. They could not go around the fortress because swamp soil would not let massive army go through, so the only way in was right through the fortress. In the fortress were 500 soldiers of 226th Infantry Regiment Zemlyansky, some militia and dozens of soldiers that served heavy artillery. When one German negotiator carrying white flag suggested to redeem the fortress for 500,000 Reichsmarks, because they would rather give that money to them than spend it on the grenades that will in 48 hours completely destroy the fortress, no matter that people were telling how well it was built. Russian General Svetnichkov offered him next. You can be with us for that 48 hours. If the fortress is still holding, I will hang you. And if the fortress in those 48 hours falls in your hands, please, you hang me. I don't care about money. In January 1950, Germans started attacking. Attacks were slow with the hope that Russians are going to surrender. On the other side, Russians never thought about surrendering. Instead, they would go in the church every morning, pray they survive the day and then go to their positions, every day. 3rd of February 1950, Germans went in charge. Numbers were on their side, so they thought it is going to be easy. For 5 days and with 5 times less soldiers, Russians held their front rows, not letting through. When they backed up to the second row, because of great pressure of an enemy, they were holding that line very well too, but on 25 March, real hell started. Germans brought huge cannons, even 4 Fat Berettas, whose grenade were a diameter of 42 centimeters, could fly 40 kilometers and on impact killed everything alive. That grenade made crater deep more than 4 meters and had diameter of 10.5 meters. They had 16 barrels for grenades with 30.5 centimeters in diameter and 60 cannons for grenades with diameter of 21 centimeters. They pretty much have everything. And it sums up to 68 pieces of heavy artillery for fortress siege and a regular artillery that went with infantry. In the first couple of days of chilling bombing, 200,000 grenades fell on the fortress. All wood was burning. Everything that was made from bricks was demolished, but the whole fortress that was made from huge concrete deposits resisted like the army inside of it, even its numbers were smaller every second. Instead of 48 hours, fortress held longer. First twice as long, then 5 times as long. Then they did not last for 48 hours, now they lasted for 48 days. They lasted for 190 days. A Russian army witnessed everything until 24 of July. After over 400,000 projectiles that was not sent to them. She was green. Germans drowned the whole Osowets in the poison gas. Mixture of chlor and the brom was sent in form of 30,000 grenades. In a fraction dark green cloud of smoke was 50 meters tall and it was 8 kilometers wide and it went 20 kilometers deep in town. Everything that was in that way died in horrifying suffering. Leaves were falling from the branches. Grass was black. Member of resistance Alexei Lepioshkin remembered, "We didn't have gas masks, so gas was inflicting terrible injuries and chemical burns. When you would breathe, you could hear cracking sound and from lungs there was bloody foam coming out. We had burns over our faces and hands. Even the clothes that we wrapped our faces in didn't help." That was not end of chaos. German artillery again started to crush Osojek with the regular grenades. And then the occupators with their gas masks that the Russians did not have went to finally capture the fortress. About 7,000 soldiers marched proudly to their prey. Everything is over was surely most common in that huge line, but this is where our story really starts. Somehow Russian artillery started working, and from that cloud of smoke was sending projectiles in direction of Germans. That was when Russian commandant Svechnikov from that chilling coughing said, "My comrades, we are not going to die like bugs from poison. Let's show them so they will remember for all times." Germans were getting closer and closer, and that moment, from that green hell, about 60 members of 226th Infantry collapsed on those Germans. On every Russian soldier there was 100 enemies. The Russians marched proudly, with their hands up and with bayonets. Some say that they looked like skeletons, shaking from cough, overclothes spitting on their bloody uniforms, pieces of their lungs. That regiment was led by Vladimir Karpovy. Living Dead was going face to face with Big Germany. Those warriors scared Germans so much that they did not want to fight. Instead, they ran in opposite directions, going right in their own traps and cutting themselves on barbed wire. This battle is always going to be known as Attack of Dead Men. That made 14 battalions to flee. They did not let down their fortress and save their town. After a whole battle, everything that was left of the fortress was blown up by Russians, so they did not leave anything to their enemy. This story shows us how strong we actually are when it comes to survival and existence. But again, this war should only be a message to us that they don't bring any good, but only leave scars and ruins. Thank you for watching, leave a like, drop a comment, and for more content like this, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. And I'll see you guys in the next video.